This right here, even though it doesn't look like it all too much, I think this is a species of jasmine. And I say that purely because of the way the flower smells. It has that unmistakable jasmine smell. Very sweet, very strong, very fragrant, and honestly kind of pretty. Walking in a trail, bored as hell. Ah! Walked into a fucking spiderweb again. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we're almost at the halfway point. And what did I say about getting in my way? I tell you, bugs these days, they just don't have any common manners. Freaking trying to chill out in my backyard and just smoke a little bit, but nah. These ants decide, oh, we're just gonna crawl on your feet and bite you. What did I ever do to you? This would be a really cool place, as I was saying, to film a little music video. Well, if you want to go through the efforts of walking and making sure that you don't walk into any spider webs. That sound you're hearing, no, that's not the waterfall, that's just the sound of the wind. And I think some rain. Actually, no, I don't see any, it just kind of sounds like it. But anyway, this right here is what would be considered the halfway point. If you're gonna go walking, I don't recommend sandals. Down in the forest. Don't copyright me. Okay, so I just wanted to give another really quick little update. It turns out it was rain. I got caught in the rain. Yeah. But anyway, we are now entering the second half of the river territory, as I like to call it. And as you can see, it's a lot more dense, and it's a lot more foresty than that little trail that we were just on. And that's honestly the best part about this, because you get to see some exotic species of anything that you can think of. You get to see exotic moths, exotic butterflies, birds, and pretty much anything. Obviously plants as well. I'm currently taking shelter under these bananas or plantains. I honestly just cannot tell the difference. So yeah, I'm gonna continue for just a little bit. I don't want my phone to get too wet, but let's see how much further I can walk ahead without... What happened to the stick that I just had? Got some more of the woodland ones. Them brown butterflies all over the place. See, you can see one right there. You can see one right here. Funny, I didn't even poke him, and they're just kind of like coming out. These little flowers right here, they smell a little bit like baby powder. Well, at least to me anyway. This is part of the reason why it's not really all that great for people with bad ankles. Because, bam, bam. It's not really all too bad ankle friendly. But, that being said, there's lots of rocks. There's lots of slippery places, especially when it rains. Moss-covered rocks. This used to be a river, as you can kind of tell. I have a spider web on my Speaking of spider webs, this right here is called a golden orb weaver. They're a gorgeous species of spiders, and they get that name because they like to spin... Well, not that they like to, but they have to. They spin golden silk. And they're not that dangerous. Well, they're not dangerous at all. Their bites don't really do all that much to us. You know, the funny thing about YouTube is that someone will complain about something that's in the video that they don't like. Like, oh, I don't like that, why didn't you put a warning, blah, 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 blah. Well, this is my channel. If you don't like spiders, you should have watched the first video when I said that this video that this channel is going to be about my adventures of bugs and nature. And guess what? You want to know what that nature includes? It includes guys like this. Another golden orb weaver. And this one is much bigger than the last one. Much bigger. Alright, and we are really close to the final destination. And no one's gonna die before anybody makes a reference to those movies. Now, we are almost there. I don't really think that you could see it in the camera, but right there at the end where the stick is, that is where part of the water is showing. It doesn't look good now, but you know, once I get there, it's gonna be a completely different story. Right, perfection. We finally made it, and on top of that, it looks like I'm the only one here. Now this is what I'm talking about. Give me just a second while I figure this out. Alright. As you can see, the water is nice and beautifully clear right now. It's nice. Woo! And it is just perfect. Oh yeah, this is going to be amazing. And there's a spider web here in the water. Of course there will be a spider web in the water, of all things. Now, I probably shouldn't be walking here, considering I have a little bit of a Black and Mild and a lighter in my pocket. But I didn't slip into the water, so everything is perfectly okay. Now, after literally since I started recording, it's been 3 hours. 3 hours of walking from the gas station to get something to smoke to my house to talk for a tiny bit on the phone, and then traveling all the way here. I would say about 3 hours. Yeah, that's exactly how long it took. There's more and more little pools of water all the way down the stream. It is nowhere in any way, shape, and form a small place. Me and my friend Alex, we've tried to keep continuing down that way for a while at one point. But, you know, honestly, the longer we kept walking, the more difficult it kind of got to just find a decent place to chill. At one point, we ended up stumbling across what looked like almost a beach, but it was just a continuation of the river. And it was just nothing but these tiny uncomfortable rocks. Now, these ones are not that bad. Not in any way, shape, or form. But however, it just gets worse it just gets worse. That's all I really have to say. But welcome to El Cañón de San Cristobal, here in Barranquitas, Puerto Rico. I need a smoke. This little river, pond, or whatever you want to call it, maybe a little lake, because it's actually decently deep. They have little species of fish here, just plain old, tiny, regular little freshwater fish. And something I didn't notice. If you have a little cut on your leg like I do right there, not entirely sure if it's the safest thing to do, but it happened when I stepped into the water. The fish, what they did, or what they started doing, is they would swim up to the little cut and they would just kind of nibbling up. They would just kind of swim around and kind of nibble at it. See? Look at that. Yeah. Go away. Now, one of the coolest things is this little rock formation right here. You can easily climb on top of that and just jump into the water. I've done it plenty of times. Trust me, there's nothing there. Those fish only ever get that big. So, yeah, you can easily climb on top of that and you can just jump into it. This is one of my favorite views right here. I actually wonder if it's possible to kind of hike on top of that. Obviously, you're gonna need ropes, but it almost looks, it looks exactly like a little dried up path that used to be a river. Now there, I've tried to see if there's a way to climb up there and jump off, but there really isn't. There isn't a good spot for it. There's too many rocks right down there. You can actually see them. You can actually see those rocks, so it's not really a good idea to jump in this little part right here. This right here is a completely different story. Now, this has been a very fun little adventure for me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little journey of mine, because I sure as hell do. Obviously, I've been here like 20 times, so that really says something about, how much I like this place, and honestly, how much it means to me, because I've created a lot of memories here. So, yeah, if you ever come to Puerto Rico, be sure to give this place a visit. It's worth the trip. It's worth the little journey. Trust me. It is definitely worth the journey. Oh, also, be sure to hydrate. They say that a lot of species of insects actually really like the rainy weather. But you want to know something? I'm not an insect!